Hari Om. Welcome to episode number 10 of our Bhagavad Gita lesson. This is called the Life Review. Let's start with our mind clearing and heart opening, slow deep breath. Last week we talked about how Arjuna asking Sri Krishna to place his chariot in the middle of the battlefield is analogous to us going into a witnessing state in deep meditation, into the neutral zone. And we talked about how there could be some painful repercussions from seeing ourselves so clearly. In 1969, shortly after I met my guru to be at the Woodstock Music Festival, I went on a road trip with some friends to California. And I was at a bookstore, and I'm not proud of this. I saw the book How to Know God, and I had not had any God in my upbringing, but LSD was shaking the roots of everything I knew, and they piqued my interest in this idea of God. So I put the book down my pants and walked out of the bookstore. It turned out to be a translation and commentary of the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali by a Ramakrishna monk, Swami Prabhavananda, and his disciple, the English writer Krishna Ishward. And at 17 years old, a lot of it was over my head, but there was one thing that stayed with me even to this day. The Swami was saying that the fear of death is not just the fear of extinction or the fear of the unknown. It's actually the fear of the known, even though we're not conscious that we know this. He said it's the fear of the life review that comes shortly after we leave the body. And it can be a harrowing process for some people. To get a sense of that, you can see the movie Defending Your Life with Albert Brooks and Meryl Streep. And what the Bhagavad Gita is asking Arjuna and ourselves is that before we leave the body, we should undergo this process. We should become self-aware enough that we can see the things in our life we can be proud of, see the things that we're ashamed of, and see that the mistakes we made were probably the most valuable lessons, and that we somehow use those lessons to shift very, very deeply ingrained some scars. And so hopefully by the time we leave the body and have this life review, it's like a rerun of a movie we've already seen. There's nothing shocking about it. And we're ready when the time comes to move on and experience our next birth. So the homework assignment is 5 questions. I'll read them to you. First of all, do you believe there is such a thing as a life review? 2, if so, do you feel you can face it without dread? 3, is there anyone you need to ask forgiveness? 4, do you need to forgive anyone? And 5, do you need to forgive yourself and move on? Thank you for watching. Hope to see you next week. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.